What is up guys, your boy CJ here, back into the video. Today's video is gonna be a little bit different. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing pretty well myself. Anyway, good greetings done. Anyway, as you can see with the title, it's my thoughts and reaction video towards the EOS R5 and R6 announcement, which was announced on July 9th. And a little bit backstory before I actually get into the video. I've been following this camera for quite some time now, and it's ever since the EOS R was launched. I've been looking forward to a better camera than EOS R. It was not up to my expectation. It was not what I wanted. So I've been looking forward to the next generation of camera, which is apparently the EOS R5 and R6 for the mirrorless line. Anyway, at least I got that. I've been really looking forward to it, and my reaction towards it is a little bit mixed. I don't have very positive, I don't have it very negative. I'm a bit in the neutral side right now. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So, my reaction towards the video. Honestly, it's a little mixed. I'm not quite sure how to react towards it, because I'm a really realistic person, and I'm also a skeptic, by the way. I'm a very skeptical individual. So when I first saw the the Canon rumors, what they rumored about the specs, I saw 8K RAW, a couple other stuff. I thought those were just it's rumors. I didn't really believe them. I had expectation that, but I don't really believe them until they actually confirm it at the virtual keynote in the Canon website. Honestly, I was quite happy that they had all those features. However, I have a lot of mixed feelings towards them, which is why I have a book here right in front of me. I have everything listed down just so that I don't forget anything I want to talk about. Anyway, so yeah, my reaction towards it was shocked, confused, as well as mixed and skeptical. So yeah, that's my reaction towards it. Sorry. So, as to my thoughts. So, my thoughts towards it was quite mixed, and I have a lot of thoughts about it, a lot of questions more, and there's a lot of people that review out there. Not a review, I consider them our previews, because Canon handed out to them, especially these are Canon ambassadors. For me, they are considered as they work with Canon basically. So technically, they can't really come out 100% about what they think about the Canon EOS R5. So I do have to keep in mind. I have been in contact with several of the ambassadors themselves. Some of them are friends, of course, and they gave me some very interesting reviews towards them. I'm not gonna say out their name just to protect their privacy purposes, of course. So first things first, I'm gonna talk about the overheating issue. Now, Peter McKinnon himself, if you watch his videos, if you haven't, go check it out. Peter McKinnon is very great. His videos is awesome. Anyway, but yeah, he addressed the issue of the possibility of overheating is to be expected. Now, for me, I kind of expected it already, because you have to understand you're recording 8K RAW, and that is not, that's a big file. You're recording at 1 gigabit per second. Not small, by the way. It's not small at all. So you have to keep in mind that the biggest 512 gig can only record up to 23 minutes, and 128 gig practically, it was tested by a friend of mine, it was set to record around 8 minutes. So yeah, there's that. But as to overheating, it's definitely to be expected. You have to understand the EOS R5 is a small body. It's a DSLR size body. It's not, a big C500 body. So there's not exactly a lot of space to put a fan in there to fan out all the heat. So ventilation is gonna be a big problem. And furthermore, you have to understand that it's 8K RAW. You're doing it in a very huge sensor. It's a 45 megapixel sensor deal. So overheating is expected. However, there is one concern which is addressed by Tony and Chelsea Northup. What they told me is that you can only record up to 20 minutes, then you have to wait for 10 minutes for it to cool down, then record another 3 minutes. Now, this occurs at a temperature of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Translate that to Celsius, 22 degrees Celsius. And I live in Malaysia. that is not fun at all. Malaysia is a very hot country. There are days that can go up to 28, 29 degrees Celsius. Not fun at all. Not fun. So at 22 degrees Celsius, that's a normal, very cool day, by the way. So it's very concerning for me because if I want to record 8K, I have to keep in mind of the overheating issue. And when it comes to overheating issue, you're gonna deteriorate the internals. Any machinery does not do very well at high heat unless they are built for that purpose. I do expect Canon to, expect the overheating issue. However, do keep in mind overheating issue will deteriorate the lifespan of your camera itself. So keep that in mind. So next up is battery. I'm very concerned as towards battery because battery is a very your camera's gonna need battery, and you're recording 8K raw, and at that it's gonna require a lot of power. So I'm thinking Canon has probably done some internal software optimization to optimize that batteries. However, I do still skeptical about it because battery life is gonna be shortened really fast at 8K raw, and you're definitely gonna have to buy a couple more batteries just to sustain it as well. So yeah, that's that. Alright, third thing, we gotta have the storage. Now, storage. First things first. It's great that EOS R5, R6 are using dual card slots right now. It's amazing. The EOS R6 uses the UHS-2 cards. We have 2 of those. As for the R6, you have CF Express Type B. Sorry, I can't pronounce this today. CF Express Type B card, as well as the UHS-2 card. Now, do keep in mind that when you're recording 8K raw, it only records to the CF Express card. So if your CF Express crap, then your footage, everything just went to crap. So there's a big gripe with the CF Express card. I'm gonna address this later on down the pricing range. So if you guys don't know about how much CF Express card costs, I'm gonna talk about it in a bit. But yeah, storage can be a problem because you're gonna have to not only have a lot of memory cards just to accommodate that space for 8K. You're gonna have to allot for your machine as well, your computer. You're gonna have a lot of storage, so you have to take that factor in consideration, which will relate to pricing later on, a lot more cost later on. So yeah, that's that. Now we're gonna get into the part where I want to address the most, pricing wise. Now for you my Malaysian friends out there, EOS R5 are priced now currently at pre-order price at 17,999. That's 17,999. 18,000, not cheap at all. EOS R6 on the other hand is priced at 11,999 ringgit Malaysia. So it's a lot cheaper than compared to R5, but total is still not a cheap camera. So yeah, so I haven't even touched to the part where you gotta buy accessories from them as well. And what do I mean by accessories? Give me a minute. Now let's talk about the cards. If you remember, I said talk about just now about CF Express card. CF Express card are not cheap. Why? How not cheap? You ask? I'm gonna talk about why later on. But as toward how much they are, an average CF Express card that is 512 gig is around 2,000 ringgit. Actually, 256 about 1,500 to 2,000. So I'm gonna put the 512 gig about 2,200, 204. I managed to find one at 2,200. Unfortunately, that have to be shipped from overseas. So yeah, just keep in mind it's around 2,000 ringgit for the card itself, just to take advantage of that 8K. Not fun. It's not a small costing, by the way. 2,000 ringgit. That's an extra 2,000 ringgit for them. You're not even including the UHS-2 card, which is another few hundred ringgit more. Not cheap either. Then you have to take note of the card reader. Now, to 100% utilize and taking full advantage of the CF Express card is you need a consistent writing speed, read and write speed of your card. In which this case, you're gonna need a better grade of CF Express reader. I would recommend the pro grade version. However, that itself comes around 500 ringgit. There are Sandisk version out there. However, unfortunately, there were some complaints. Not major complaints, it's just some inconsistency of read and write. That's to be expected. The price is about 256 ringgit Malaysia, so it's about half the price of pro grade, to be expected. So you get what you pay for. So yeah, and That's only to get the camera started working. I'm not even including how much the battery gonna cost. I'm not sure how much the battery gonna cost. We're probably gonna have to wait a while more for that. I'm not sure if they're still using the old LPE6 or they have a new one. So we're gonna have to wait before we actually can make a decision on that. But yeah, you need a couple more batteries. That's put there another 500 ringgit. That's already bringing total up to 18, 19, 20, 21. 21,000, just get moving. Then 22. I put it 21 and a half for just to get a memory card and battery. Then you're gonna have a machine. You're gonna have really need a powerful machine just to work that 8K footage. And of course you can create a proxy file, but no matter how, the raw footage, the raw files is gonna be very big, and you're gonna have to have a lot of storage just to handle that much. So it's not fun at all. No, not fun. So yeah, bringing that total cost up to upwards of 25,000 ringgit easily. So yeah, not fun at all. So furthermore, yeah, the costing is really big part of what it is. However, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the EOS R6 in comparison to EOS R5. Now, from what I can see spec-wise, there wasn't major advantage R6 has over, R5 has over R6, except for the 45 megapixel with that R5 has, whereas R6 only had 20 megapixels, and yeah, R5 has 8K RAW and 4K 120 in comparison to R6, which the highest able to go is 4K 60. So keep that in mind for what you will. Of course, you have 1080 Full HD, 1080p, 120 on the R6. If you're good enough with that, go ahead. And also costing wise, R6 costs whole 6,000 ringgit cheaper than EOS R5. Yeah. I don't know. Until we have a full review, in-depth review as towards these cameras, I can't really justify to you guys which one is better to buy. And normally I would tell you guys which one is better, but in this case, it's really skeptical. It really depends on what you need to do. I would see the R5 is very, for big production, they probably be as a B cam. That's basically a secondary camera in comparison to your primary camera. I would say it's very attractive to stock footage sellers because 8K is always going to be a very, very attractive format and size and resolution for stock footage sellers. Also, in the DSLR format, it makes you less conspicuous in public, and whereas instead, a normal 8K makes you a giant, a giant setup, maybe as small as you can see, this big. As for a DSLR, probably about this big. So it makes makes you less attractive. You can go around and shooting people, and people doesn't feel uncomfortable. Like, why are you shooting with such a big camera? What are you trying to do with that? So yeah, that's that. Oh, and one more thing, the 8K has a small catch at Canon does not really mention it, which is anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing is basically to remove the color fringes of red, green, blue. Mostly appears on fabrics and stuff, but it reduces sharpness and details, and that's a big problem. Most people does not know that. Most people need to probably find out later on. Anyway, that's would conclude my EOS R5 and R6 reaction and thoughts. So far, I will keep you guys up in check. If you guys have any questions, do comment down below. Do like and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification button. Share this video to your friends in case they want to know more about them. Of course, if I missed out anything or if I've misspoken or insulted anyone, I'm very sorry, by the way. But these are my thoughts, and yeah, they're my opinions. So yeah. Anyway, so thank you for watching, and it's your boy CJ. I'll see you next time.